So today, we have your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man taking on the Sith Lord Darth Maul. Who wins? Well, let's find out. So, after becoming a Sith Lord and given the name Darth Maul, he became the apprentice of Darth Sidious. After losing to Obi-Wan Kenobi, getting half his body cut off, and becoming a cyborg, he was exiled, and he vowed for vengeance against Kenobi and Darth Sidious. He became an acrobatic and extremely skillful warrior, especially while utilizing his double-sided lightsaber. He was extremely skilled hand-to-hand combatant, which he often used in his fighting style. He was a master of several lightsaber fighting forms, and his agility is greater than most, and he makes full use of it while in combat. He has stalemated or defeated Obi-Wan several times, one of the greatest lightsaber users ever. And he put up a great fight against Darth Sidious before eventually losing. He's strong with the Force on par with Obi-Wan, but he was vastly outclassed by Darth Sidious. However, he can also use the Force to augment his physicality to low superhuman levels, and it also allows him to mind probe, which he's very skilled in using as well. Despite being very strong with the Force, he loves fighting more and will normally only use the Force if he absolutely has to. And finally, he's a very skilled political and military strategist as well. In the other corner, Spider-Man. Peter Parker was bitten by a radioactive spider that gave him abilities of a spider, enhanced his physicality tremendously, gave him a nice healing factor, and gave him the Spidey sense. The Spidey sense acts as a sixth sense, and it alerts him when he's about to get hit or when something bad is about to happen, meaning his reaction time and reflexes are incredible. He's a great fighter, as he created his own fighting style that perfectly uses his spider abilities called the Way of the Spider. He's also great at pressure point fighting as well. He can easily lift over 10 tons, and has even lifted up to 50 tons while under a very stressful situation. He's fast enough to dodge point-blank machine gun fire, dodge machine gun fire fired at him from multiple angles, and he's known as the most agile hero in all of Marvel. He can crawl on walls and ceilings just like a spider, and his only weapon is his web shooters that help him in combat and in transportation. He can use these to project web-like bullets and to web up his opponents as well. And finally, he's a great strategist and tactician as well. So, who wins? Well, without a doubt, Peter is physically superior in every way. He's just proven to be stronger, faster, and more durable than Darth Maul. I mean, he's strong enough to easily lift over 10 tons. He's fast enough to casually dodge machine gun fire being fired at him from multiple angles, and he has survived massive explosions and hits from characters like Hulk and kept on fighting. He also has a nice healing factor on him as well. So, can Darth Maul at least contend with him physically? Well, he's strong enough to easily break bones with his hands, break a table with one strike, send foes flying with kicks, and even punch and kick through people's chests. He's tough enough to withstand falls from tremendous heights, isn't phased when metal shards pierce his skin, and he's and he's kept on fighting after receiving broken bones and dislocations easily. And now speed and agility, where he thrives. He's fast enough to casually dodge and block barrage of blaster fire, and to spin his double-sided lightsaber fast enough to form a shield. All that is without force augmentation. With force augmentation, he easily will be able to contend with Peter physically. But Spider-Man is still overall physically superior, especially in strength and durability, and they're really close in speed and agility, but I'd still say Spider-Man has that advantage as well, but only slightly. But as Peter is physically superior, Darth Maul is more skilled of a fighter. Like, Spider-Man's fighting style perfectly executes his spider abilities, but it doesn't compare to Darth Maul's skill. He's easily one of the best fighters and lightsaber users in all of Star Wars. He's a master of many lightsaber forms, and he's very aggressive, and he incorporates acrobatics in his fighting style as well. Throw in his double-sided lightsaber, and he's a real threat to almost anyone he faces off against. Speaking of, Spider-Man is tougher than Darth Maul and has a nice healing factor, but he's weak to piercing attacks like lightsabers. This lightsaber can easily cut his limbs off or even his head, and Darth Maul isn't against doing this either, as he's done it before. But Spider-Man's Spidey sense will allow him to react and dodge several, if not every, attack from Darth Maul's lightsaber. He also has his web shooters, something Darth Maul has never went up or faced against and will throw him off at first. But the lightsaber is kind of the perfect counter to Spider-Man's webbing. Darth Maul is also a Force Master, and Spider-Man has no counter to the Force. But Darth Maul really prefers fighting over using the Force, and if he does use it, he usually just sends his opponents flying backwards to gain the advantage up close. He doesn't usually use something like the Force Choke like Darth Vader and others do. So, who wins? Well, they cancel each other out very well, but I think it's going to come down to Darth Maul's lightsaber versus Spider-Man's Spidey sense, in which I have to favor Peter here. I mean, it has allowed him to react and dodge the supersonic attacks, and Darth Maul obviously can't move that fast. I say Spider-Man just barely gets the win after a good fight against Darth Maul. Spider-Man wins. Like and subscribe, please leave a comment down below, and please hit the notification bell and all that great stuff. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.